Talking about your sponsors, Tour de France, for example, is one of the most viewed sport events in the world. That means a lot of value for your sponsors. How do you see them leveraging this, and how maybe actively do you work with them on that to demonstrate their return on investment?
Well, I think now for sponsorship, the key is activation. We've gone past the phase where sponsors buy airtime and visibility. This is something which is mandatory. Of course, they need visibility, they need banners on the course or presence on the jerseys and so on, and this is normal, and this is what they are looking for. But now that we see and where we work with all the sponsors, and how they can activate a platform and a sports events to go beyond simply visibility. And the good thing with sporting events like the Tour de France is that they are a platform, and you have million ways to exploit those platforms in order to create meaningful activations for the partners. An example which is key is on the Tour de France, the publicity advertising caravan, which is a parade of advertising vehicles of the sponsors, which goes ahead of the race, and you have 160 vehicles, and they have a parade and they're sampling goodies, and it's like a big carnival. It's been going on since 1930, which is incredible how visionary it was at the time when it was created. And this gives an opportunity for sponsors to activate with the 10 million spectators of Tour de France and to be able to interact with them. This is one example amongst others.
You mentioned the caravan for the Tour de France. Most of your sponsors are French organizations. Do you see that slowly changing? Is there any organizational intention for that to change? And maybe how do you balance a global event with retaining the roots of being French?
Well, this is what we're trying to do. The Tour de France has a huge French impact with incredible TV ratings in France, and these 10 million spectators showing up each year, which is insane. But also, we do have the broadcast in 190 countries, and with very high TV figures, and the Tour de France is heavily followed abroad, which means that we balance this very French aspect as well as the international coverage, international interest. And the sponsors follow suit. That is to say that we have French brands sponsoring the event, such as LCL, which has been the yellow jersey for many years now, but also international brands like Skoda, who are on the green jersey and who activate this property worldwide across all their markets because it matches their positioning. So we really are on the two pillars, and it works quite well because I think the Tour de France is an international event with a strong French flavor, so you can get both.
Beside that international coverage and media exposure, your business development side is taking you to new territories. Can you maybe tell us a bit more about what you've learned when you expanded to new geographical markets?
Yes. The expansion is very interesting. We've gone from 10 to 20 countries where we operate events over the last 5-6 years at A.S.O. What we saw clearly is that you can think global with a brand like the Tour de France, but your actions need to be local, and especially in the event business, where you need to be compliant with the local culture and the local way of doing things. And it's very mandatory to be very strongly embedded in the local communities and to understand ways to make things happen. A good example, for instance, would be the criterium of Saitama by the Tour de France that we organize. It's a cycling race which we put up every year in October in Japan, in the city of Saitama, where there the culture is completely different than the French one, and what we actually try to get is a mix between our Tour de France brand, this is what the Japanese are looking for, and at the same time adapting it to the way of Japanese to attending events and working on events. And this is this mix that we need to see. Hence, in our way of operating, we do have local teams or local partners in all the countries where we operate, because we need absolutely this local know-how, especially out of stadium events. For instance, closing a road, getting a permission to close the road to have a cycling race, it's different in each and every country of the world. If you do not have the locals who can give you that, you cannot work. So it's really this mix, but which makes it interesting on a day-to-day basis is to discover and blend with culture all over the world.